Here's the ending of part 1 in case for some reason you decided, you know what, I think it's about time I went to my first Harry Potter movie when The Deathly Hallows Part 2 came out. It rehashes last movie's ending like we're not already pressed for time here. 22 seconds of logo. Magical military marching formations.
Finally, the conclusion to the half-movie you watched nearly a goddamn year ago.
Harry and friends forget to etch Dobby's ex machina accomplishments on his tombstone. Yep, they can use magic to engrave the headstone, but not to bring Dobby back to life. Oh well. F Dobby. They're holding the goblin prisoner in this room, but probably didn't even bother to explain to him how the 4 seashells work.
How did you come by this sword?
It's complicated.
Every time someone asks Harry how he got his sword, he tells them it's too long or too complicated a story to tell. But all he has to say is, a hologram deer showed me the way, and in the magic world, I guess that would earn a respectful nod.
The sword presented itself to us in a moment of need.
We're still debating why that bastard sword waited so damn long in our moment of need. We camped for days, went to Godric's Hollow and fought a snake, and camped another day before it finally said, shit, they need me. Also, is this a good time to ask why this sword was ever created in the first place? Godric Gryffindor actually said to himself, magic, magic everywhere, but I need a sword to kill some fools.
Who's the acquaintance?
A Hogwarts professor. As I understand it, he's now headmaster.
Either you don't know that person's name is Snape, or you just did a horrible job protecting his identity.
Are you thinking this Horcrux and Bellatrix's fault?
In the last movie, Bellatrix went crazy trying to figure out how they got into her vault, which leads Harry to make a somewhat ridiculous leap that there might be a Horcrux in there too. This is all because Snape put a fake sword of Gryffindor in her vault, for reasons I will never begin to understand. Sure, Voldemort might have said, we need to get that sword. It has basilisk venom on it after the events of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, but he has shown time and time again that he's not that forward-thinking or careful or observant.
This was the wand of Draco Malfoy.
Was. Is it not still?
Well, perhaps not, if you won it from him.
Now, in the 8th movie, the series finally explains why using other people's wands can be difficult. I still don't know why Harry was able to use Hermione's wand in the last movie, or why people can't get new wands if theirs break, or why sometimes they need wands and sometimes they don't.
And what do you know about the Deathly Hallows?
Roll credits.
You know one exists. You told him about it.
Part 1's pronoun game usage set a world record, and Part 2 drives it into overkill. I don't even care if he can refer to only one person.
If it's true, what you say, and he has the Elder Wand, I'm afraid you really don't stand a chance.
The guy who just said you have to win the wand in order to control it believes Voldemort can control the Elder Wand after stealing it from a dead Dumbledore. Where in the f*** did they manage to get a Bellatrix hair? Was it on Hermione's clothes after Bellatrix tortured her? Was this convenient as shit? Or are they saying Hermione had the wherewithal to take one from her before they went into that Dobby portal? Haha, because Hermione's never worn heels before, or something. Not sure why tripping is funny or logical here, but I guess we need some way to show that they might get caught as imposters.
Madame Lestrange, would you mind presenting your wand?
And why should I do that?
Instead of just presenting Bellatrix's real wand, which they have, they go with the these aren't the droids you're looking for plan, which granted works, but still, overcomplicated plan is overcomplicated.
Imperium. Very well, Madame Lestrange.
We're in the magic world where people can change into other people and do all sorts of magic spells, so it's weird that this goblin behind the guy who just got roofied decides, well, this story seemed like bullshit to me, and my boss demanded the wand and completely changed his mind for no reason, but f*** it. They don't pay me enough to argue. Also, wouldn't that mind control spell come in handy a number of times previous to and succeeding this occasion? 3D justification.
The thief's downfall washes away all enchantments.
But only after the spectacular 3D roller coaster ride. Ah, Smaug! Wait, despite the fact that the thief's downfall stopped the cart and dumped them out, it doesn't lock them in some magical wall of some sort?
They've added the Gemino curse. Everything you touch will multiply.
And that's their last defense? Thing multiplication? Everything you touch will multiply, but Harry will still somehow make this climb up all the bullshit. Also, why isn't this damn thing behind a series of magical curses and defenses? You know all those protection charms they keep putting around themselves in part 1? Why not those, plus some murdery ones?
Who's got an idea?
I have one. Apparate somewhere not here. Harry Potter mini-villains use the Hobbit school of hiding behind pillars to protect against extremely intense dragon heat method, which works amazingly well in both movies. Dragon is, for some reason, totally okay with these 3 little humans riding his spikes. And none of the Muggles saw the obvious dragon destroying roofs and flying over London, because Muggles are the least f***ing observant species on the planet in these movies.
Now!
And that dragon was never to be seen again. I heard it became an accountant. It married that other forgotten dragon from Goblet of Fire, I hear. Aqua flashback.
He knows. You know who?
You're still you-know-whoing, huh?
Oh, there's more. One of them's at Hogwarts.
Harry's connection to Voldemort is actually a cool plot point that has been developed well over the series, but only just now does it tell Harry where the next Horcrux is, because they had no idea where to go after the bank heist.
We've got to plan, we've got to figure it out.
Hermione, when have any of our plans ever actually worked?
Like 100% of the time. I'm fine with 2 naked male torsos, and it's smart because those clothes are wet. They could catch pneumonia, and there's not a spell for that. So I'm kind of sinning the fact that Hermione is not smart in this scene. Also, how are there dry clothes from anywhere that they can change into after being submerged? Furthermore, why isn't there a magic spell to dry clothes?
You're the one who sent Dobby.
With the amazing timing of a plot convenience, I might add.
What makes you think you can believe anything my brother told you in all the time you knew him? Did he ever mention my name?
Right, not mentioning a seemingly creepy brother's name totally means everything Dumbledore ever said is now suspect. Gotcha.
You know what to do.
Where have you sent her?
You'll see soon enough.
Because this is an important journey I just called a suicide mission, I want to keep this spoiler-free.
I don't remember this on the Marauders map. That's because it never existed till now.
So, a magical painting of Dumbledore's sister just dug a secret tunnel to Hogwarts. That I am totally down with, and have no questions about. What I am concerned with is why this kind of magic couldn't have been used in so many other situations before this, but I guess I should just expect it by now. Sure, the guy who's supposed to be incognito right now. Let's cheer and clap when he shows up. That can't possibly raise suspicion.
It seems, despite your exhaustive defensive strategies, you still have a bit of a security problem, Headmaster.
Because, as you see, we managed to sneak in all the Weasleys. Again, here's some awesome magic being conducted without a wand. Wands are important, then they aren't, depending on what the story needs.
I know that many of you will want to fight.
High school intercom announcements.
Give me Harry Potter. You will have 1 hour.
Arbitrary deadlines.
Lead Miss Parkinson and the rest of Slytherin House from the hall.
Exactly where is it I'll be leading them to, Mom?
The dungeons would do.
Patriot Act. Also, this goes back to what we said a long time ago about Slytherin House. If you're picked by the Sorting Hat to go there, you're basically being told you're an evil person. And in this case, it's all the Slytherin.
Do what you have to do. I'll secure the castle.
I'll make sure none of those painting assholes can dig a secret tunnel in here like Dumbledore's dead sister did.
Hogwarts is threatened! Man the boundaries! Protect us!
Fuck me. Hogwarts had a statue army this whole time and never once used it all the times Hogwarts needed protecting?
I've always wanted to use that spell.
Seems to me you've had plenty of opportunities, freaking gift wrap for you in the previous 7 movies, but whatever.
There you go, Maxima.
Each one of these professors has to shoot their own protection spells into the air, because their magic only covers a 5-foot by 5-foot square area, and all sorts of Voldemorts can come in if you don't get good coverage. Also, super powerful looking force field spell makes its first appearance in the final f***ing battle, despite appearing to be the perfect spell for several previous perilous incidents. Protection charm sex. Kelly MacDonald isn't my ghostly girlfriend, or having my ghost babies, or allowing me to play Egon Spengler with my fully functional proton pack in this scene.
You're the Grey Lady.
That's racist.
Another swore to destroy it many years ago,
Tom Riddle.
but he lied.
Back then, why would you give the diadem to anyone who would want to destroy it? It didn't have Voldemort's soul in it. It was just a freaking diadem.
He defiled it with dark magic!
Yeah, so why did you give it to him again? I'll give him a perfectly good diadem. Question mark. Profits. Ron can speak Parseltongue because finale.
Harry talks in his sleep.
F*** you. Ron makes Hermione take on the basilisk tooth stabbing duties because that's how a man behaves. Would the flooding happen anywhere they decided to stab the Horcrux, or is it just because they're in the Chamber of Secrets? And if the water isn't going to drown anyone, what's the goddamn point? Yep, totally feels natural when you ram it down our throats like this. It's weird no one ever thought of a mass-killing curse, like a plural Avada Kedavra, for situations just like this. Movie thinks we don't know Neville survived the fall, and movie is sadly mistaken. Trolls! Stone soldiers! Excitement? Kingsley's spell is exactly the same bullshit that turned Jessica Alba and the others into the Fantastic Four. Ew.
Bloody hell, we'll never find it on this.
There he is. Just that.
Brilliant.
What was the it Ron was referring to? Was it Harry Potter? Because Harry Potter was easy as f*** to find on this map. If not Harry Potter, what it were they looking for? Surely they didn't expect to find the diadem on the map. I guess I'm confused. Oh well. Also, sending the Marauders map here for not showing Draco or his buddies anywhere when they are definitely behind Harry Potter at this moment. So I guess Harry really needed to get into this rumor requirement, but then so did these assholes following it. Whatever, I guess, but it seems like the rumor requirement's just taking all comers at this point.
Why didn't you tell her?
Who's her?
Don't be a brat. Do him.
If by do him you mean make love to, then that's probably okay in Voldemort's book. But you cannot kill Harry Potter because of the stupid rule that only he can kill him. So this scene just got robbed of its tension. How does it feel? Legitimately surprised there's not a spell for quickly climbing chair piles. Oh look, brooms! Right when we need them!
If we die for them, Harry, I'm gonna kill you!
If we die, I'm gonna kill you, cliché. The power of 3 flaming Voldemort heads cannot penetrate the rumor requirement's doors. About now, Voldemort is wondering why he didn't stick a few Horcruxes in other countries, or in random places with no meaning, or movie theaters playing Mars Needs Moms, so they would never be found.
Come, Nagini. I need to keep you safe.
If this asshole didn't talk to his snake so damn much, Harry would never have figured out how important it was. Also, why not send Nagini to France while they attack Hogwarts? It could curl up at the French Open and take in a Nadal match while its master wins. Life, I guess. Remember in Order of the Phoenix when Voldemort was planting false visions in Harry's mind so he could set a trap? What happened to that? We don't know any spells that work against giants. Run! The Battle of Hogwarts being relegated to a third-tier action scene, something we see flashes of as the characters we're following run past it, is really f***ing annoying. Incredible timing as Aberforth shows up at the exact same place as Harry right at the moment a flying ton of Dementors show up. Movie series that has shown us that magical dudes can often tell when they're being eavesdropped on, especially by students, decides, f*** it, I can't think of any other way to convey this exposition between two of the most powerful wizards ever.
While you live, the Elder Wand cannot truly be mine.
We've seen Voldemort doing all sorts of magic with this wand, but because it's resisting him, he decides to kill Snape, believing that the wand will truly be his after that. But then what? What is it that he can't do right now that he could do with a more compliant wand? This is the more power problem at work, because the movie can't sufficiently tell us what more power means.
And here, no problem killing Snape with the same troublesome wand. He didn't even have to say a spell.
Funny story. So I went to the bathroom and went into a completely different auditorium showing some movie where some dude's tears were suddenly magical and being harvested by... Oh, wait. This is the right auditorium? Man, if only I knew which Weasley this was, I might feel a bit bad about this. Voldemort gave me an ultimatum to fight him, but I think I have some time to check out Snape's tears so I can find out he was a good guy after all. Geez, how many tears did he get from Snape? I think he got like maybe 1 tear or 2, but not a whole 5-hour energy drink full. Snape's tears posthumously absolve him of any wrongdoing so the audience, Harry, won't hate him. Gryffindor! Sorting Hat is a dick to Snape's love life. Snape said Harry had his mom's eyes, but his are blue and hers are pretty brown. Maybe he was talking about shape? Or prescription?
Hi, I'm Lily.
Let's get married later and rub Snape's face in our love. Voldemort based his plot to kill Harry Potter on this witch's prophecy. And as likable as she is, she's awful at predicting, and it's incredible he took her so seriously.
He has her eyes.
All of a sudden,
there will come a time when Harry Potter must be told something, but you must wait until Voldemort is at his most vulnerable.
Why the f***? Also, I don't know how Snape was supposed to know when Voldemort was at his most vulnerable, but what was he waiting for? He didn't even bother to put memory tears in a special jar just in case he died before Harry could get to him. Luckily, Harry was around to witness the attack, and he didn't die too fast.
A part of Voldemort's soul latched itself onto the only living thing it could find.
What? Since when does Horcrux manufacturing work that way? Every single Horcrux Harry has destroyed has been inside some sort of object, not a living thing. And doesn't Voldemort actually have to do something with his soul to make a Horcrux? Why did it try to make a Horcrux immediately after he killed Lily? Also, I don't know if we sent it before, probably did, but f*** it. This spell Lily put on Harry should have been cast on every damn person at Hogwarts before this battle started. This flashback is going on 5 minutes at this point. The power of boners turns your Patronus into the woman you love's Patronus. Also, that explains how Harry ended up finding the Sword of Gryffindor, but all the stuff we said about that still stands. There's no reason why that took so long.
There's a reason I can hear them.
Dog whistles?
The Horcruxes.
Oh. Man, Hogwarts is trashed. I guess I should feel lost, but I know they'll use the same spell that fixed the Weasley's house, so I guess the destruction isn't anything I should really care about. Snitch tasting! Man, good thing he never lost that snitch during all the bullshit this movie and the last, where he could have and should have lost that snitch.
You've been so brave, sweetheart.
Actually, that's all he's been. All 8 movies, bravery is really the only heroic characteristic he's displayed. All the solutions have either been found by his friends or handed to him on an ex machina platter.
Why are you here? All of you.
We never left.
Well, that's creepy. So, you saw me masturbate? I guess it would have caused some serious spirit world marital discord if Snape had been allowed into Harry's people who loved him reunion. Man, this guy has been mega patient. He's waited through an entire 10-minute Snape's tears tell the whole story sequence, plus a Harry touches base with his ghost relative scene, and he's just standing here. Deleted scene includes Voldemort skipping rocks across a pond waiting for Harry to show up.
No sign of him, my lord.
What do you mean? He's been talking to his ghost loved ones for like 5 minutes. How have you not seen him? And he shows up like 30 seconds after the dude says this.
Harry? No! What are you doing here?
Better question. What are you doing here? Alive. Held prisoner. Unlike all the other fools, they just simply kill. Why is this asshole not 2,000 miles away by now? It's at times like these when I wonder why Voldemort doesn't do that throat-slitting thing he did to Snape. Seems like he'd be unable to recover from that. Although, to be fair, Harry shouldn't be able to recover from this either. So it goes. This is basically the Matrix ending. Hero has to die to save the world. Or the Iron Giant ending. Or the Big Hero 6 ending. Or the Jesus ending. Wow, Magic Heaven looks fake as shit. Speaking of Magic Heaven, do they have their own separate heaven from the Muggle one? Because if so, even God's racist in this universe. Well, that's f***ing disgusting. Makes you wonder what's going on in Magic Hell. Well, it's a good thing that when Harry went to Limbo, Dumbledore could be there to share his experience so he could tell Harry the choice he has.
Professor, what is that?
Something beyond either of our home.
Oh.
Where would you say that we are?
Discount Cloud City?
You were the Horcrux he never meant to make, Harry.
Those crazy accidental Horcruxes.
I have to go back, haven't I?
Oh, that's up to you.
So Harry was a Horcrux and Voldemort killed Harry, which means that puts him in limbo somehow. It's not really explained all that well, so sit back and relax and just go with it, right? I mean, this is the most ex machina of all the ex machinas, really, and that's saying something.
Help will always be given at Hogwarts, Harry, to those who ask for it.
Unless you're Harry Potter in the first 7 movies, of course.
Words are, in my not-so-humble opinion, our most inexhaustible source of magic.
You mispronounce frustration?
Dead.
Voldemort can't tell when he's being lied to by anyone in this entire series. Neville runs by the cause of all the problems in these movies and doesn't immediately destroy it. Oh, I see. Hagrid was kept alive, so this dramatic carrying Harry's body scene had more impact. That's stupid. Why isn't this asshole 3,000 miles?
Harry Potter is dead!
Voldemort at the Improv.
We can find a place for you in our ranks.
I'd like to say something.
Voldemort allows this.
You're still with us, in here.
Voldemort continues to allow this. Neville brings a sword to a magic fight. Voldemort doesn't go into a rage smoke monster and track down Harry Potter immediately, like he did in Part 1, when he got caught in the stupid power lines. Later we see him do this.
So why couldn't he appear directly in front of him and Avada Kedavra his ass?
There's a basilisk fang, so why did he tell Dumbledore he had nothing to kill the last Horcrux with?
The snake's still alive, and I've nothing to kill it with.
Man, this Elder Wand just won't obey Voldemort, will it? Oh look, more wands crossing streams. I'll start with that. I'm working my way up to more dangerous things, but you get the point.
Not my daughter, you bitch!
This line combines one of the best lines from Aliens with the awkward title of that Sally Field movie, Not Without My Daughter, only without the without. Bellatrix suffers from the laughing fits that occur when you're doing battle at the end of a movie and series. The deleted scene includes the part where the mice eat all the pieces, and then the cats eat all the mice. Director said, that's overkill. Also, Mama Weasley so easily dispatches Bellatrix that I'm not sure whether to be impressed with Mama Weasley or disappointed at the supposedly historically badass Bellatrix. Also, Molly knows there's an audience clapping right now, so she properly stops the movie to gloat over her kill. Voldemort ignores the killing curse in favor of a good old-fashioned magical fistfight. It's like he got 7.5 movies of a decent magic series that ultimately inexplicably goes with the Shanghai Knights ending. F*** off. This movie's gonna tell me after all that f***ing bullshit we've seen that wands are once again crucial for performing magic? Isn't there at least a zap my wand to my hand spell? Harry and Voldemort set a bad example on how to celebrate Christmas. Also, I feel like I've seen this before. Not sure where. I can't quite place it. Neville Ex Machina, or is it Longbottom Ex Machina? Whatever sounds dumber. Fall to post-mortem, and the unlikely romantic pairings continue.
The wand never belonged to Snape. It was Draco who disarmed Dumbledore that night in the astronomy tower. From that moment on, the wand answered him. Until the other night when I disarmed Draco.
And somehow this wand decided to obey Voldemort and put me in limbo when he shot me with it. But bygones. Harry does the right thing. Also, yeah, I get it. Absolute power corrupts absolutely and all that. But we never really saw what this wand could do. Or that it had some allure that inherently caused evil. And I'm still trying to figure out the rules of wands, and we're nearly done with this shit. Movie skips over Voldemort's 2 resurrections to go straight to the happy ending. Ah! Terrible 19 years later makeup. I still don't believe nobody ever sees this. Hermione's kids are a reminder that Hermione and Ron had sex at least twice.
Dad, what if I am put in Slytherin?
19 years after their folly was exposed, Hogwarts still separates kids into 4 distinct groups so that the hate can continue.
What if I am put in Slytherin?
Albus Severus Potter.
Oh my god. What's worse, the actual name of this child or the stilted expositional way it's jammed into this scene? With 12 more minutes of credits, I think you could create an entire movie's worth of credits with these 8 movies.
I need to get into Gringotts. Into one of the vaults.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
That's the cup of a carpenter.
I regret nothing!
Belcourt's even more beautiful when it's on!
We'll cross the streams.
Excuse me, Egon. You said crossing the streams was bad.
Cross the streams.
You're gonna endanger us. You're gonna endanger our client, the nice lady who paid us in advance before she became a dog.
There can be only one.
Now, our operation is small, but there's a lot of potential for aggressive expansion. So which of you fine gentlemen would like to join our team?